Hey guys, my name is Victoria, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today I'm filming my February wrap-up. Seems like only yesterday that I uploaded my January wrap-up. That is my last video. I didn't do videos for a whole month. I only read 8 books this month. Until a week ago I had read 3 books, so I thought, oh is it even enough for me to film a February wrap-up? But I got some reading done this month, so here we are. By the way, there's a birthday haul coming, probably this week as well, so make sure to watch out for that. I'm gonna start now, otherwise this video will be way too long. I didn't cry while reading any of these books, so I'm not going to do the emoji thing this month, just because I didn't cry. Just like in January, the first 2 books that I read are German, and I read 2 thrillers out of the same series, and the first one is called Ins Herz. The basic translation is Into the Heart. And again, it's a thriller, it's by Markus Richter, and I actually met the author. The special thing about these books is that the location of these books is actually quite near me, or I know the area very, very well. So that's, I think, the reason why I wanted to read them, but reading them was a lot of fun. Okay, what is this about? Basically, it's called Neuschwanstein thriller. If you know what it is, Neuschwanstein is the most beautiful castle that exists. I may be biased, but no, it's the castle by Ludwig II of Bavaria. I've been in that castle multiple times in my life. I think this is set in 1860, around that time, like when they started to build the whole castle. And it's about a man that was murdered during the construction of this castle. It's written from multiple perspectives. You may end one chapter with something that's kind of a cliffhanger, and you have to get through multiple chapters to then again continue with the story of this one character that just had a cliffhanger. And it's actually a great method that the author used to keep it exciting and to keep the reader reading. It's a really great book. I gave this a 4 out of 5 just because sometimes it got a little bit tiring, and also it's weird, but I don't like reading in German. I really don't. It's sad that I don't like reading in my first language. It was exciting from the beginning till the end for a lot of characters, but sometimes there were chapters that were just, okay, I need to get through these to read the other stuff, but they're actually quite important. What I really, really loved about this was the location, because I know where it's set and I have been there multiple times. The second book I read is the sequel of this one, and this is called Ohne Herz, which is translated into Without the Heart, Without Heart. Yeah, and this starts with a kidnapping of a little boy, and it's essentially about people wanting to kill the king. And that's crazy. It's great because the king, so King Ludwig, appears a lot in this book, which I really, really like because he's my favorite historical figure. It's set 10 years after the first one, and I gave this a 3 out of 5 stars because it was exciting, it was great, there were multiple things that I didn't expect, but this was harder to go through. I don't know if it was because of me, because I do have my moods. I wouldn't necessarily say that this is worse than the first one, because objectively I wouldn't say that it is, but because I was dealing with some stuff, sadly didn't enjoy it as much as the first book. The next book I read is Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli? I don't know if I'm saying this right. This is the book that Love, Simon the movie is based on. It's about Simon, he's gay but he's still closeted, and it's just trying to figure out how to come out, even though it's not really struggling with coming out, it's just, why do I even have to come out? It's like, why is straight the default? Why do I have to come out as gay? And why do straight people are just assumed to be straight and they never have to come out? It's sort of that conversation, because he's actually not scared of coming out because his family is amazing. But the other thing is, he has contact with another boy who's also gay at his high school, and they email each other, lots of emails, but they don't know who they are. It's like this anonymous story. I think a lot of people heard about it. The movie is so different. It starts in a completely different way. Some characters are really, really different in the movie than they are in the book. I gave this a 3 out of 5 because I enjoyed it. It was great, and a lot of times it was really, really cute. The language was really easy. It's written in modern dialogue. So all in all, I enjoyed it. 3 out of 5 stars basically means that I enjoyed the book, but if I give 4 or 5, it's like there were some essential things that I really, really loved. 3 out of 5 stars means I enjoyed the book, but it could have been better. The next 3 books I read in one day. There's a video coming. It's gonna come like in a couple of weeks, but I actually did a readathon. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see that. The first one I read was The Canterville Ghost by Oscar Wilde. And this was a gift by one of my English teachers in 8th grade actually, and he gave us this book. Really enjoyed it. I gave this a 5 out of 5. It was really short. I read it in like an hour or something. It's a story about a ghost that's haunting Canterville, or the mansion Canterville. And there's this American family that moves into the house, and he's just trying to scare them away like he's been doing for the past 300 years. But this family is kind of special. They're basically like, I'm a ghost. Okay. Aren't you scared of me? No, not really. Oh. That's sad. I'm sad now. I really liked the character of the ghost. At some parts he was really cute and so sad because he thought, my job is to hunt people and these people are not scared of me. Why is this happening? And I'm not going to tell you how the book ends, but it's a good ending. I really enjoyed it and I gave this a 5 out of 5. The next book I have is frustrating. It's a poetry book and I hope that in my future wrap-ups I can give you poetry books that I'm not furious about. I read The Witch Doesn't Burn in This One by Amanda Lovelace. I'm not going to tell you too much about this book, but because I did a huge rant in my readathon. This book enraged me. I am sad that this stands for feminism because it basically talks about inequality and misogyny and feminism and abuse. I have to say that this is not a good representation of what feminism is. This was so bad. Not only was the writing bad, I think it was sometimes better than Rupi Kaur. Sometimes I actually thought, oh, she's showing something. She's giving me a scenery, and that's a metaphor, and that's a thing I could interpret, and that's a nice image. But every time I found something like it, it was completely destroyed in the last few lines because it was so bad. But now we're coming to something much better, something that I gave a 5 out of 5, which is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. I love this so much. This is the story about a lawyer who is friends or has the will of a certain Dr. Jekyll. And Mr. Hyde is supposed to inherit everything that Dr. Jekyll has. I don't want to give the twist away, but it's a classic. I think it's one of the first books that talks about split personality disorders, but I don't know if it is offending in any way. I did not see anything about this book that said this is not a good representation of what split personality disorder is, but I loved the way it was written. I thought it was so good. It's so short. I mean, I read it in one day. Every chapter had something new in it, and every chapter showed more insight into this weird case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Again, I don't know if it's controversial in any way. I think back then, not a lot of people knew about this, but given the way that it was written, I thought it was brilliant. The next book I read is The Bottle Imp, also written by Robert Louis Stevenson. I do have it in physical copy. It's basically in the back of the book, but I wanted to show another copy. This is a really short story about a bottle imp. It's an imp inside a bottle, and it has lots to do with the devil. There's a guy called Keith in Hawaii, I think. And he goes around a house and then he sees this old man inside the house, and the man says, "Here, come inside, I want to show you something." And Keith says, "All right, I'm okay." And the old man says, "Isn't this a beautiful house? Wouldn't you love to have something like this on your own?" And he says, "Yeah, I would." And the old man says, "What if I tell you you could have all this if you just buy this bottle?" Huh? A bottle? It's a simple bottle. What do I want with a bottle? The story of this bottle is that there is an imp inside of it and he can grant wishes. The only rule is that you have to sell the bottle before you die. Otherwise, you're going to go to hell. So it's basically a trade with the devil. The important detail that you can't forget is that you have to sell the bottle for less than you bought it. So if you bought the bottle for $50, let's say dollars, if you bought the bottle for $50, the person you sell it to has to buy it for less than $50. Pretty simple. So he buys the bottle and he wishes for things. But as we all know, magic comes with a price. Things don't go as well as Keith thought they might go. That's the premise of the story. I give this a 4.5 stars. I really, really liked it. It was short, it was quick to read, and the language was again beautiful. The story is really weird if you think about it, but a lot of classics are actually really weird. The last book I have for you guys today is Leah on the Offbeat, also by Becky Albertelli. Leah on the Offbeat is a sequel to Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda, and it's about Simon's best friend, Leah, who is a bisexual in crisis. That's what you can call it. It's not a spoiler, it's on the back of the book. Leah is, I wouldn't say a dark character, but I think a pessimistic one. Her mom and her are on their own. They don't earn a lot of money. And she's kind of the character when someone says, "Oh, you were amazing and you're great." And she's like, "No, I wasn't." She's a great drummer, she's in a band, she's an artist, and is not aware of her awesomeness, of her talent. I don't know if I liked her. I was able to relate to her a lot, which I don't know if that says anything about me. I gave this a 3 out of 5 as well, because it was a book that I enjoyed, but it was nothing really special. Again, Leah is sometimes really difficult. It just reminded me that I can be very difficult. Basically, it's young adult drama, like every other one, but with the bisexual on it as well. Okay, that's it. Woo, we made it! Please leave some book recommendations down below, especially good poetry books. Honestly, if you like these books, the ones that I do not like, please don't be offended. I get the appeal of every book that I might not like, but the primary part in these videos is that I say what I thought of the book and share my opinion. Please don't be offended if you liked any of these books. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Comment down below what you would like to see next and your book recommendations, as I just mentioned. Subscribe to this channel and don't forget to click the little bell next to the subscription button to never miss an upload. That's becoming a thing. I don't know if I like that. I hope you have a great day. If we don't see each other again, a great life. Thank you so much for watching again. Bye, guys. Step on the glass. Staple your tongue. Happy llama, sad llama, mentally disturbed llama. Oh god, that was in the kitchen. Thought that, what did I do? Did I step on a glass? I'm done. Woo! I need to sneeze. Ah!